What's up, movie fans? Okay, guys, so this is new. She's a new guest. I've never had her on my channel before. So this is actually my girlfriend, Abby Darling. I know she's, like, part of the Movie Fan 102 lore, thanks to, like, stuff that happened with Movie Fan Hater, but she's never actually been in one of my videos before.
He's the real hater.
Okay.
We've been together almost 3 years, so this is my first video with you. Maybe you're the real hater.
Actually, that's true. This was a long time coming. I feel like this should have happened sooner. She is a massive Stranger Things fan. You guys already obviously know that I am a massive Stranger Things fan. So, for her first ever video on my channel, we are going to be ranking all 5 Stranger Things seasons from the least good to the best. I don't know if we have similar rankings at all, because I'm kind of going into this blind. I don't know her ranking at all. She kind of knows mine.
I'm gonna be real here. I think we can both agree what the worst one is.
Okay, I do think we have the same bottom spot, but I don't know anything else about her ranking, so I guess let's just get started. We both have the same number 5, so...
Should we just say it on 3?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, season 5. Okay, so I will start off by saying I don't dislike season 5. I just made a review of it where I was mostly positive, but I had a lot of problems. What are your general thoughts on season 5?
Hang on, I gotta grab these. Okay. Y'all want to see what the entire season was like, okay? This is 11, and this is Vecna.
Hey, wait, that's my joke. I did that joke in the 5 review. You're stealing my joke. No, okay.
But literally, why was the entire season like that?
My biggest problem with season 5, I'm going to start off with the negatives, and then I'm going to get positive, because I do have a lot of good stuff to say about it, is that I feel like season 5 just didn't have stakes compared to the other seasons of the show. The whole season, they're trying to convince you that the characters are in danger, but I never really felt that. Like, they never really followed through. It's just incredibly clear that the Duffer Brothers are too scared to actually kill off characters. Yeah. So throughout the whole season, you have so many fake-out deaths, and eventually it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like, I just don't care anymore. Yeah. I also did think that there was way too much, like, exposition and moments like that, what you just did throughout the whole season. There's some very sloppy writing choices where were the Demogorgons in the finale? Like, everybody's pointed this out at this point. It is the weirdest thing about the season.
You want to hear my theory about this?
Okay, yeah.
You remember Argyle, right? You know.
Yeah, Argyle.
I think that he took them all in the van, and then they, went to, Neverland or something. I don't know. Oh,
and they all just got high in Argyle's van?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, because Argyle was also absent from season 5.
I miss him. I grieve him every day.
You know, okay, real quick, I this is totally random, but I just feel the need to mention it. Okay, where the heck was Dr. Owens in season 5? Because, Argyle, I can accept that he just, went back to California or something. What happened to Dr. Owens?
Exactly.
The last time you see him is in the bunker when the military attacks in season 4, and then he never comes back again. I'm sorry, this bothered me.
I don't know, I just kind of assumed he, died or something.
I don't know. But yeah, so those are my problems with season 5. Do you have other problems with season 5?
Yeah, just a lot of fake out deaths. I just feel like, honestly, just in general, no offense to the Duffer Brothers, they just got very, lazy with the writing this season. There were so many things that were just, left just completely unanswered. And it's just, why would you, have shit writing? Why would you have bad writing on the last season? My bad.
It's okay. Actually, you're not the first person to curse on my channel. Both Movie Friend and Grand Admiral Thrawn have done it before, so you're okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, so overall it does have a lot of problems. However, I am way more positive on season 5 than most people. And getting into that, the reason why is I think season 5 did legitimately give every character a satisfying conclusion to their arc. Where, like, by the time you get to, like, the final episode, I did think all of the emotional moments in the epilogue actually did hit hard. I like the kind of open-ended ending that they give Eleven. I liked the final scene with the boys and Max playing D&D. I did think that when you got satisfying emotional moments like that, it worked. I also just think season 5 gets going a lot quicker than any other season of the show, where, like, with every other season, you kind of have this, like, slow build-up over multiple episodes, but in season 5, everything just gets going, like, immediately. And so, yeah, I do think there are some good things with season 5. Do you have any positives with season 5?
Steve's not dead.
It's true. Steve is not dead. He survived.
I will also say, okay, and he disagrees on me with this, and this is also technically a negative, but I didn't get to finish.
Okay, fair enough.
I still think, and Grand Admiral agrees with me on
Grand
this.
Admiral Thawne does agree with you on this.
I agree. We both agree. Jonathan and Nancy breaking up made no sense. Like they're all like, oh my god, they, like, broke up and stuff. It's like, that just felt like they were just, like, last confession kind of thing, you know? Like, I didn't think they were actually breaking up. And then I literally read on, like, People magazine, Jonathan and Nancy break up, confirmed by the Duffer Brothers. What?
I disagree. I thought that scene was great, and it made perfect sense for them to break up.
It was a good scene, but it was not a breakup.
I thought it was a breakup. I was confused by everybody saying that it wasn't a breakup. I don't know. I guess that's just me.
I mean, this is also your first relationship, so you've never been broken up with.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, fair enough.
I feel kind of bad because I thought that, like, Kali was going to be a traitor, and then she, like, died.
I don't really feel bad for her that much. I don't really like Kali. More on that coming soon. I'm going to have a Stranger Things character ranking, so more on that in the future.
I want to give you a certain finger gesture for saying that.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my number 4 is season 2.
Oh my God,
what is your... Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that works. Okay, once again, I don't dislike a single season of this show, so I am going to start off with the things that I don't like about season 2 and then get into the things that I actually like. My main problem with season 2 is I think of all of the seasons, it is the one that takes the longest to actually get going. The season doesn't really have, like, that much urgency to it until Will gets possessed, which happens, like, 3 episodes in. Like, I find the first 3 episodes to be, like, a little bit boring and kind of slow. I think the season gets really, really good towards the end of it, but then another issue with the season is that you have in the middle of this, like, super tense group of episodes, the Lost Sister episode, which I think is the worst episode in the entire show. So I can see that she disagrees with me on this. And then another thing that I'm going to say about season 2 real quick, and this is a massive hot take. I already know not many people agree with me here. Max and Billy serve no purpose to the story in this season. They only become important in season 3. In season 2, they're just there.
Like, I think season 2 was kind of more of, like, them, like, introducing them rather than, like, actually utilizing them. So I think it was a good time to introduce them. But, yeah, I do agree that, like, season 3, I feel like they actually, like, really lock in.
Because, like, I'm going to be real here. In season 2, I feel like they only introduced Max to give Dustin and Lucas something to do. Because, like, they kind of have this love triangle thing going on with her. But then in season 3, I think Max becomes way more important because, like, she also kind of functions as, like, Eleven's best friend. Do you have any problems with season 2?
Just in general, like, out of every season, season 2 is just the least memorable one to me.
That's
in my
understandable.
opinion. Like, I'm literally just drawing a blank on, like, the entire season as we speak. Like, it felt just, like, really random that, like, Kali and everything, like, everybody just, like, showed up just out of the blue. Like, I thought it was just gonna be, like, more of them, like, fighting Vecna. But it was just, like, I don't know. I guess, like, Kali was, like, important to with, like, the ending and everything. But it's just, like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, you know? Like,
I definitely did have some issues with season 2. I do think overall it's still a good season. Once again, I don't dislike a single season of this show. The stuff that I like about season 2 is this season is where you get, like, all of the show's best duos starting. Because, like, in my opinion, the two most compelling relationships in the entire show is the father-daughter relationship between Hopper and Eleven, and then the unlikely best friend relationship between Dustin and Steve. Both of those started in season 2. And so, like, you have that. I think the last few episodes of season 2, apart from The Lost Sister, are some of the best episodes in the show, where, like, the episode where they're trying to escape from Hawkins' lab and everybody's getting massacred by the Demodogs, and then you have Bob sacrificing himself to get out. Like, I think that is an amazing episode, one of the best in the show. And so, yeah, no, like, I still really like season 2. I just think that of the seasons, it is kind of the one that takes the longest to get going. I also kind of agree with what you said about it being the least memorable one, because I feel like with every other season, there's, like, a distinct vibe to it that makes it memorable, which I can't really say with season 2. So, yeah. What are the things that you like about season 2?
Like I said, I'm drawing a blank on the entire season. Yeah, I just really like. I did really like just the just general, like, nostalgia of it. But yeah, like, Bob sacrificing himself. I will never forgive you, Duffer Brothers. But yeah, I really liked like, Noah Hopper and, like, Eleven, like, relationship in that. Just, it was, like, so wholesome. Oh, and then, like, the flashbacks that they had from the season in season 5.
Yeah. Even though I don't think they served much of a purpose, I like Max and, to a lesser extent, Billy in this season. I don't really like Billy as a person, but I think he's a good, well-written character. And so, like, yeah, no, I really like season 2. It just is kind of the least interesting to me of all of the seasons.
Can I drop a extremely hot take?
What's the hot take?
Billy actually, I actually kind of like Billy. Like, I definitely think if he didn't, like, die off, I think he could have had really good character development. Like, because in the end, he was there for, like, everybody, you know? Like,
this is something that I'm going to, like, get into more in my character ranking once again. I think that Billy is really well written as, like, this very, very tragic, like, broken person. But I also kind of hate Billy because he's just a very hateable guy. Like, I don't know. I've never been as big of a Billy fan as a lot of other people are.
Fair enough. Last thing for me is, I think season 2 was what made me absolutely love Joyce. Like, as a character.
Really?
Yeah, I think she just, in general, just ended up being my favorite character.
Okay, fair enough. So, my number 3 is season 3. What is your number 3?
Mine is also season 3. Are you looking
I feel like this might end up being the same ranking for the two of us. Okay, I'm gonna be totally real here. This was a case where the entire time I was making my ranking, my brain was telling me that season 2 was better than season 3, but my heart was telling me that I like season 3 more. And that's kind of how I feel. I think season 3 objectively isn't as good as most other seasons in the show. And my reasoning as to why is I feel like this season gets a little bit silly, where like suddenly now we're bringing like evil Russians into this, and they have an underground bunker beneath a mall. And that's always just been a little bit silly to me. Like, I don't know, I can't take it as seriously as a lot of other things in this show. I know, I get that this is a show with like alternate dimensions and monsters and stuff, but like, it's always kind of felt like this serious horror show, and then season 3 is when you start to get into some of the silly action movie stuff. And so that's my main problem with season 3. That's why it's not as high. Do you have any problems with season 3?
I personally like the silliness.
Okay, understandable.
Hopper's like death, I was so mad. I would strangle the Duffer Brothers, because what do you mean? I was like sobbing about him for over like 2 years, and then he just is alive. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I this is an opinion that I've always had. I've always thought that they should have followed through on Hopper's death.
Exactly.
Like, he should have actually died here. But I also really like Hopper.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, any other issues?
It's kind of a negative, but not for it. Like, I really liked Robin in this season, but I think the issue is that towards, like, later seasons, it's like they almost, like, dumbed her down or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like, I don't know how to describe it, like...
I've heard this criticism before.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's just, like, she went from, like, you know, genuinely, like, you know, like, cool and confident and stuff, like, just to, like, I don't know, it was like they, like, made her this, like, adorkable character towards, like, the last, like, season or two.
I think part of like my thing is that I've always just interpreted it as she got more comfortable with being herself in like seasons 4 and 5, and so like her and Steve are like really silly together in those seasons. I don't know. That's how I interpret it. But yeah, no, I get the criticism.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into the things that I like about season 3, I personally think season 3 is the most purely fun season of Stranger Things. Where, like, this season almost feels like the vibe season, where I think that everything that happens in it is kind of just a lot of fun, where, like, even though I'm not crazy about the silliness of the Russian subplot, Dustin, Steve, Robin, and Erica infiltrating this Russian base and all of that stuff is kind of the most fun part of the show, like the entire show to me, where I just like really love the 4 of them together. I think they're hilarious. I have said before to you, and other people as well, I really want them to make a spin-off show of Stranger Things that doesn't have anything related to anything supernatural. It's just Dustin, Steve, and Robin solving mysteries together, because I think that would be awesome.
Me and Grant were talking about this. We want a show, where it's just Steve and Robin, and like they're doing like jobs together, because they're just always employed together.
It's true. Yeah.
Scoops Ahoy, the record store, the radio station, they were just always together, and I kind of love that.
Although now Steve is a coach, and I don't think Robin is interested in doing that, but yeah, no.
Let me live in delusion.
Yeah, no. And then like every other plot line in this season I just find to be fun, where I feel like there's statements I've made about this season in the past that I kind of want to retract, where like multiple years ago I said I thought that the entire like drama between the kids at the start of this season felt very, very forced, like Mike and Elle breaking up and everything. in retrospect, I disagree with myself. I've like rewatched those scenes and I kind of think they're hilarious, where it's just like showcasing the fact that these are still kids with dumb kid problems. And so like they have like this pointless drama. It's like kind of that youthful, like fun energy that like a coming of age show should have. So I want to retract that statement. I love what?
You better.
I love Hopper, Joyce, and Murray with Alexei, the Russian scientist. That's a ton of fun. I love the entire like episode. I know he dies. It's very sad. I love the episode in the carnival, where like you have this whole elaborate fight scene between Hopper and the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy in like the House of Mirrors and stuff like that. Like, yeah, the most purely fun season of Stranger Things. I still think it gets a little bit silly, but I still love it. So now I guess what are things that you love about season 3?
Yeah, I really like season 3, just not as much as the other two.
Yeah.
Let me not spoil those. I just in general like love how much of like a vibe the season is. You know? Like I love it. I feel like a lot of the plot lines to me were also just like really interesting in general. Like you know, like kid problems like you were talking about, but also like, you know, like Robin coming out, and then was the Snowball Dance in season 3?
Actually, that was season 2.
Well, I liked Snowball Dance too. Yeah, but yeah, like just I think that there were a lot of like good plot lines in this season. I will never forgive them for killing Alexei. I will never also, this is like hot take, this is the season where I started to like Nancy, actually, just because like the first 2 seasons it was like, I don't know, like she was just kind of like iffy to me. Like I was just like, she was like okay. Starting like season 3 and then on though, like I started to love her.
I'm just full disclosure, I'm not the biggest fan of Nancy. More on that in the character ranking. She's one of like a few characters that I have like major hot takes on, where like I'm just not as big of a fan of them as everybody else is. But I'm sorry. I just gotta mention this.
If we weren't filming a video right now, I would be like tackling you onto the floor.
I've always just found Nancy, okay, I guess I am going to just quickly mention it. I've always just found Nancy to be kind of ridiculous, because eventually she becomes just the show's go-to whenever anybody needs to shoot something. And it's like, okay, she's a girl who's kind of good with a gun. Hopper is a Vietnam veteran. Why is she the one that you always give the gun tasks to?
Because she's cool and she's a diva and she is that girl.
I just always thought it was dumb, but okay, anyway. My number 2 is season 4. What's your number 2?
Oh, this is actually where we disagree.
Okay, got it.
Yay! Mine is season 1.
Okay, so I'll let you talk about season 1 first, and then, yeah.
Okay, well, season 1, just, in general, I have a lot of nostalgia for, just, like, I feel like the show has, like, changed vibes so much since then.
It really has.
Like, but, like, I really, 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 really love the season 1 vibes. Just went from, like, this, like, dark, like, you know, like, fantasy kind of show, you know, where it's, like, D&D and everything, to... You know, and there's like kids getting kidnapped, but then just like now it's just kind of like silly.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Not that's bad, of course. Like I also like the new vibes. Just I miss the old vibes as well. I really just in general like how they really just like wrote like the trauma of everybody, like Nancy and Jonathan, for example. Like yeah, like I like the way that they were written a lot. Joyce, I also love her so much. Like I remember like watching the show as like a kid, and I'm like, yeah, Joyce, you tell off that stupid man. If it were for season 4, season 1 would probably be my favorite, just because I love
That's
season
understandable.
4.
they are kind of like the two options for me. I feel like where
Yeah.
like if you ask a Stranger Things fan, what's your favorite season? It's either going to be season 1 or season 4.
I really do like wish that they kind of kept like at least a little bit of the edgy vibe. Like towards like the second season and stuff, like Nancy's trauma just was like so overlooked and just like disappeared off the face of the planet. I also love the way that like Steve was like originally kind of like halfway a jerk,
Yeah.
but then went through the most amazing character development ever.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
He's so cool. Sometimes I just forget that he was a jerk.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna talk about season 4 since that was my number 2. Okay, so season 4, when I first watched it, it was my favorite season. I thought about it a little bit more and I realized I actually do like 1 a little bit more. But with that being said, I still think season 4 of Stranger Things is one of the best seasons of television of all time. It brought the show back to kind of the horror vibes right when like season 3 was starting to feel a little bit too silly for me. Like in this season, you have this new super creepy villain, Vecna, who is like murdering people in this horrific, extremely memorable way that just sticks in your brain. And this whole season is like kind of devoted to this mystery of like, what is this guy? Like, we've never seen something in the Upside Down that is like humanoid before, like something that can like talk and stuff. And so like as the season goes on and you kind of like unearth these mysteries of who Vecna is, I think that it was a very, very wise choice to have Vecna introduced in this show because he gave the show a main antagonist. Because, I mean, I like the Mind Flayer, but he's also just kind of a big monster. You can't really, like, latch onto that as well. With Vecna, he's a way more interesting villain to me. Other stuff that I just love about season 4, I think it is remarkable how this season takes place on, like, 2 different US states, 2 different continents, multiple different characters, and yet all of it comes together in the end, and, like, they find a way to bring it all together. I like the Russia stuff significantly more in this season, with like Joyce and Murray traveling to Russia to save Hopper. I think it's way more interesting. Everything that happens in Hawkins, I love. I think that Max's arc in season 4 is one of the most interesting and emotional character arcs in the entire show. Dear Billy is my favorite episode in the entire show. It made me cry the first time I watched it. And I also love Eleven's entire subplot with her kind of learning more about her backstory and reuniting with Papa. And then I love Papa's death scene. That's another one of my favorite scenes of the show. Because, like, you have that moment where, like, Papa says to her, I need you to, like, tell me that you understand that I did this all for you. And she doesn't give him that satisfaction because he doesn't deserve it. And, like, yeah, season 4 is an amazing season. I like season 1 slightly more, but still, it's amazing. My number 1 is season 1.
And then mine's 4.
Yeah. Okay, what are your thoughts on season 4?
Well, everything that you said, obviously. I was like a huge shipper of Joyce and Hopper. So then the fact that they got together, I was like, yes. I stood up and I cheered. You guys do not understand.
Yeah. There's so many crowd pleasing moments in season 4. Like,
I'm not even gonna lie. I think part of the reason why season 4 is my favorite is because Angela got hit in the face by that roller skate. No.
Yeah, I love how memorable she is, and she's only in like 2 episodes of the show.
Yeah,
like, you just hate her so much.
The only thing though about like the whole thing with Angela though was I actually got so much secondhand embarrassment when Elle, like, did that thing, but then, like,
Yeah.
I felt so embarrassed on her behalf. It was so bad. Like, I did not expect, like, Chrissy to, like, limbs to just, like, pretzel up. It was like, what?
Yeah, that was insane.
That scared me. I remember that scaring me so bad. It's like, where did this come from? The soundtrack. I know we're technically, like, talking about, like, the show and stuff, but oh my god, the soundtrack was amazing. I am a huge Kate Bush fan, personally, like, even, like, before the show, and it was just, like, they started playing Running Up That Hill, and I was like, oh my god, yes!
I didn't know who Kate Bush was before season 4, and season 4 made me a Kate Bush fan, so there's that.
I'm really happy that Stranger Things, like, just kind of made room for Kate Bush again.
Yeah.
Max's scene where she's, like running out, like, it might actually be, like, one of my favorite scenes, like, in anything ever.
I agree with that. Actually, like I said, that made me cry the first time I watched the show.
Like, I got goosebumps. Like, like, it was like, oh my god,
it's such a powerful scene.
Like, in a way, kind of like I feel like it kind of, in a way, like, kind of, like, reflects, like, mental health in a way. Like, I don't know how to, like, describe it, but it's just like,
because, like, that entire, like, plot line, that entire episode is kind of like a metaphor for, like, depression and suicide, and it's very powerful.
That one hit hard for me, just because, like, I remember watching that when I was going through, like, the worst parts of my life, and it was just like, oh my god.
Something that I did just realize while you were talking about it is when I talked about season 4, I totally forgot to mention Eddie. Eddie is, out of all of, like, the characters in this show who only showed up for one season and then died, Eddie is my favorite. I love him. He's going to be super high on my character ranking.
Oh, also, season 4 hot take. I did not think that Jason was that, like, okay, like, he was, like, okay, he shouldn't have, like, gotten into, like, fights and everything, but, like, honestly, though, it's, like, with everything that happened, though, it was just, like, Eddie was, like, kind of, like, there when she, like, died and everything. Like, nobody can convince me that that wasn't an understandable thing to do. Like, he was her boyfriend. Like, she didn't open up to him about a lot of things. Like, that is an understandable thing to be, like, pissed off about.
But yeah, I also feel like you have to question what type of boyfriend was he that, like, she didn't go to him with any of her mental health problems at all. Like, she hid them all from him. Like, yeah, I get why people defend Jason. I'm not a Jason defender. I don't really like him. But yes. Okay. So now my number 1 is season 1. So when season 4 came out, I briefly thought that it was my favorite, but it was only for, like, a few months, and then I kind of thought about it, and I realized season 1, to me, is one of the best seasons of TV ever. Like, I put it up there as one of my favorite seasons of TV, along with, like, Breaking Bad season 5, Daredevil season 3, The Wire season 4. I've actually never mentioned that one on my channel. But, like, and then Stranger Things season 1. I think those are kind of my 4 favorite seasons of TV ever. I think season 1 of Stranger Things is perfect. Like, I don't have a single problem with it. It's a show that's not trying to be the most original thing in the world. Like, it definitely has influences that it wears on its sleeve, but it just tells this very, very compelling story that's very simple, especially compared to the rest of the show, where it's just a boy goes missing, and the season is about, like, everybody who knows and loves this boy, like, trying to figure out what happened to him, and it's exploring all of their different reactions, where you have, like, Joyce, who's kind of, like, going crazy because of it, because like she just lost her son. She feels like it's her fault. And then you have like the brother, Jonathan, who's like also like trying to figure out like what happened to his brother. And then you have like the friends who have this like much more like childish, naive view of him going missing, and they feel like they can save him. And like, it's just a season that like takes this simple tragedy of one boy goes missing, and it looks at all of the different perspectives that different people can have on that. And then like it also throws in other things to just make the story a little bit more interesting, where like obviously somebody goes missing, you're going to have a cop searching for that kid. So you throw Hopper in there and you have him be like this super interesting character where like he feels like it's his personal responsibility to find this kid because he lost his own child, and he like doesn't want Joyce to go through that same thing. And then like you throw in like other characters who just make the story a little bit more interesting, like Nancy, who doesn't really have a personal stake in Will going missing, but then she loses her friend Barb, and so she gets pulled into this story as well. And you have like an interesting relationship between her and Jonathan. And then in addition to all of that, you have Eleven, who I think is kind of the most brilliant character in the entire show from a writing perspective, where it's like she is this like kid who has been through just like so much trauma in her life, had her entire childhood taken from her. She doesn't really understand how the world works. She doesn't really like know anything. And then you have this group of boys who once again are very childish and naive, having to be her like doorway into the real world. And like, yeah, I think it's just where all of the characters are most interesting. It is the scariest season of the show, in my opinion. Like, even with Vecna in season 4, I think even he isn't as scary as just the simple threat of this monster that you know nothing about in season 1. I think the Demogorgon was way scarier when you didn't know what it was. And like, yeah, I think season 1, it's one of my favorite seasons of TV ever. So yeah, it is my number 1.
Could you imagine like what would have happened if they just like accepted that like Will was like dead or something? Could you like
would have been a very short show. Ended after like 3 episodes. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's our ranking of all 5 Stranger Things seasons. We ended up not having exactly the same rankings, even though most of it was similar. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. I imagine I will probably have to have the Darling back at some point, but yeah. Comment down below, what is your favorite season of Stranger Things? And see ya, movie fans.
Subscribe to him, where I will find you and I will kill you.
Also subscribe to her, even though she hasn't uploaded anything on her channel in a long time.
I mean, technically speaking, I will be soon.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm working on a couple things.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, see ya, movie fans.
Bye-bye.